All right, when you first come into App Lab, what you're going to see is a screen something like this. The first thing I would recommend you do is rename your project so that you know it's yours. In these training sessions, you may be sharing an account with someone who's previously used it, so you may want to put your name on it. It's a good idea so that you know it's yours. So I'd rename it. So I might call this Vicky's Hello World, so I know it's my project. Save that. Then you want to make sure you're in the design mode. You start with a screen. It's always named, it gets a screen ID of screen 1, 2, 3, whatever. If you don't rename them, it's always a good idea to rename things if you wish. This may be your first screen, your second screen. We're going to do a single screen project right now, but I might call this the home screen just so that I know what it's called. If I need to refer to it later, it's always a good idea to make it a simple name and something that might be descriptive. So this is the first screen you're going to see. I can change the background color of it if I wish. I may or may not want to, depending on what I'm going to put on it. So let's say, yeah, I'm going to change the background color, and maybe I'll make it a teal color. I could also put an image on the background. We're not going to do that because we're going to be adding, the main screen is going to be an image, so we don't want to put the whole, we don't want to make the background an image as well, though you could do that. So the next thing you're going to do is add things to your screen. Right now we're not worrying about code, we're just worrying about what the screen looks like. So I'm going to add an image to the screen, drag it over. I can change the size, the width, the height, all of that, but I'm going to put something in it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I can decide all of this. I can give it a name. I'm going to call this a cat, for example. All right, and then I'm going to go choose an image. If I had already uploaded something, I'd see it. Otherwise, I can upload a file. I'm going to go find a file. You need to know kind of where your files are at. At this point, I'm going to pause for a second, go find a file. So I am going to go use this Petmoji that I made. So I'm going to bring that in. This is a square file, so I'm going to readjust my size. So I'm going to open that. I'm going to choose that one, and it's going to put it there. Now I can decide where I want it. I can move my X positions. So I'm going to center that pretty much. That's actually not bad. I may move my Y position. I can type it, or I can just choose the arrow keys and adjust it. So that's my Petmoji. I'm also going to put a label on it to tell people what to do. So I'm going to bring a text in. I can change the color of that text if I want. I can change the font size. I'm going to make the font size probably about 18, and it's going to say click picture to pet me. Okay, and then again I can adjust where that is. I can adjust the size of it. Maybe I'll make it bigger. Yeah, and then I'm going to move it over. I'm going to move the X position over. So it's kind of centered. All right, so those are the things that I want on my screen. That's all I want on my screen. So then I need to go over and do code. But one of the things that you can do is if I'm on this image, I can go over here to the events that are associated with that image, and I can say when I click on this, I'm going to want something to happen. In this case, when I click on it, I'm going to want it to meow. Okay, so I'm going to say insert and show code. and it'll automatically create some code for me over in the code section, and I'll switch over there. So what this says is when I click the cat, it's going to show that the cat was clicked down here. So if I run it right now and I click the cat, you'll see there that it says cat was clicked. Well, that's not what I want to have happen. Okay, when I click it, I'm going to want it to play a sound. So I'm going to want this play sound, and it plays sound from a URL, but I can upload sounds as well. So I'm going to go choose a sound here. I'm going to go find a file to upload and upload that. All right, and then I'm going to click on my sound and open that, and it will upload. And then I can choose that sound. Okay, so now if I run this and I click on the picture, it plays a meow sound. Now, the other thing that I need to make sure to do is I have to put in a comment, because this sound is Creative Commons licensed. It's not public domain, so I need to make sure to credit it. So I'm going to bring a comment in right here, and I can type a comment in. And what I've done is copy the license, who it was recorded by, and all of that. So now I have the attribution right in there. If I was to put a link to this app on a website, I would probably also put the attribution in there, so that people know that that kitten sound was who it was recorded by. I would also probably, for the picture, if it wasn't, a Petmoji like this, or it wasn't a picture I took, I would also put a credit in for that. So now, if I run this, it's going to do that. Didn't change that. So now I have kind of a hello world. Now, I can share that. When I share it, there's a couple things you can do. You get a link here. You can also embed it if you wish. You can send it to a phone. You type in a phone number and it'll send a text message with the link, so someone can click on it and run it directly on their phone. You can choose to share it on Twitter, on Facebook, or just with the link. So if I copy this link and then I paste that link into my browser, can't see it, but I just did that, and then I press enter, I'm going to see it like it would appear on a phone, and I can click it, and it'll meow every time I click on the picture. So that's how you could do a hello world with an animal.